Welcome to Guide to English. Today we are going to read The Sick Rose by William Blake. Though it is a simple poem, but it has multi-layer meanings. Before we go through the text, we have to know more information about William Blake. If we go through William Blake, then we have to know the first one thing, the birthday of William Blake. He was born on 28th November. The year of his birth was 1757 and the date of death was 12th August 1827. He had written two masterpieces. One is Songs of Innocence, other is Songs of Experience. The present poem has been extracted from the Songs of Experience. The Songs of Experience was written in 1789 and was published in 1794. It is though a simple poem to be read, but it leads us towards the inner and deep meanings that makes us surprised. The tone in which the poem has been written, that is definitely sad and alarming. Okay, now I am going to read The Sick Rose word by word. Here has been said, O rose, thou art sick. O rose, thou art sick. So here thou refers to you. If you want to know the history behind using thou instead of you, then we have to go through Elizabethan period. From the time of Elizabethan period, there has been used thou instead of you. Even the art, here art means are. That means in Bengali, how. O rose, thou art sick. Directly the poet is calling the rose, rose, you are sick. Before we know the meaning of the whole poem, we have to define the rose. Rose has been used here in the meaning of beauty. Okay? In some way, rose even has been used as in the meaning of love. Because of why? We'll know it later. But here we will define this as the meaning of beauty. Okay? O rose, thou art sick. Thou art sick means really the rose is without beauty. Okay? Without beauty. The rose is without beauty. What is the ornament of the rose? If I want to ask you, what is the ornament of the rose? The ornament of the rose is its beauty. What might be the meaning if there is no beauty of the rose? Really, the rose is meaningless. The meaning of the rose even is meaningless. Okay, then we'll go to the invisible one. How will I define the invisible one? Worm refers what? Worm refers some things which is even the natural object. But here the worm has been used in the another sense. Worm means a teeny creature that is seen to fly in the air. But here the worm is invisible. Really, is it really that worm is invisible? No. The will behind the worm, will behind the worm is invisible. That might be the dark will behind the worm, that is invisible. So in this way the worm is invisible to here. That flies in the night. Definitely we have to know what is the exact place of their flight. The place of their flight, the time of their flight is definitely it's night. What does night refer? The night refers, or the night is associated with the evil in literature, or whatever the activities is seen to be performed in night or in darkness, that is really for the bad will. So worm, here worm has been used for the bad will. So we'll go to the even the first line. O rose thou art sick, the invisible worm that flies in night in the howling storm. Next we'll go to the storm. How is the storm? That is howling. What does it mean, howling? Howling means making long, loud noise. Howling is a word that is really associated with the animals. Suppose when the animals are engaged to roar, when something there is a hidden will of the animals, that's called howling. So worm, these are seen to fly in the night. They are only for the black will or the bad will. They're coming, or they are being flown in the air or in the howling storm. Okay, and storm means we generally know that it's a bad weather or a strong winds that is seen to fly. Okay, so that is the meaning of what? That's the meaning of howling storm. In this way, we'll go to the next stanza. Has found out thy bit. What has found out thy bit? Here, the invisible worm that is seen to be flown in the howling storm has found out thy bit. Here, thy. Thy means rose. Rose's bed. Interesting. Before we know the bed, we have to define what is the exact meaning of the bed. Bed. Bed means the sexual platform. Sexual platform. Okay. Bed means the sexual platform. What is the relations with the bed? What is the relations with the rose? Here, if we want to the natural meaning, the bed means what? Bed means the petal. Petal. Okay. Bed means the petal. What is the color of the petal? The color of the petal is crimson. Do you want to know the meaning of crimson? Crimson means deep red, deep red. Okay. Crimson means deep red. Why the joy has been used? Really the crimson was joy, or the joy was crimson? Here the joy has been used only to make a meaning that how the worm was enthusiastic. How the worm was enthusiastic to bring the destruction of the deep red petals of the rose. Is there any relations between the red rose and the crimson and the howling and the invisible one? Yes, there is a relationship between invisible worm and the red rose. What is the exact relation to the earth? That is called dark shaded love. That means the worm were in love with the rose, but in the sense of dark secret love. Is there any will behind falling in such a dark secret love? Yes, there is a really will behind falling in such a dark secret love. What is the main cause to here? Only to destroy. Destroy what? Destroy the rose. Here the destroy, that means destruction, even the destruction of thy life. That's why it has been said, has found out thy way of crimson joy, and that is the dark secret love does destroy thy life. If I want to keep 1, 2 and 3, then in such a meaning will be that does destroy thy life. That means petal life.
There is another deeper meaning of the poem. Just before times, I had just called the rose as a person. Even you should also know the rose here has been personified with a woman. The question is aroused, what kind of woman she was? She was a pure woman. Okay, she was a pure woman. So in this way, you can call a pure red rose as a pure woman. Even you also should know the pure woman refers to the sources of innocence. On the other hand, you can call the worm who is the symbol of experience. Okay, one thing you also should know, the sick rose, the rose that has been infected by the worms, that means the sick rose is also called the symbol of experience. In another sense, the worm is also called experience because it helps the sick, it helps the rose to be preyed to sickness. Because of why? Or how has it been possible? It has been possible when worm has flown over the bed of the rose, that means on the petal of the rose. Okay, on the other hand, we can also have the another symbol of experience, that is called night. In contrast to the daylight, night is much more experience. Because of why? It is the main time for the bad will, and there will be the existence of bad will or bad existence. Because of why? The because of the goodwill. That means in this world, as there is existence of the goodwill, so there is also another sense of darkness. Okay, another experience, that is called storm. Okay, storm. In such a way, the storms is the symbol of experience. Okay, so the rose, as it has been personified with the pure woman, the rose has been molested by the people like worm. That means the worm like people, she has been molested. That's why the poet has intentionally used the bed. Before, I have already mentioned that bed was the platform of sexuality, and if the rose is accepted here as a pure woman, then automatically it is to be considered that the rose, in behind of the rose, there is a pure woman who has been molested by the people with black will. That means the rose which has been cut by the worm. Okay, that's why the rose has been meaningless, or in the name it has been meaningless. That's why it is called sick rose, and that is the ultimate significance of the title of the sick rose. Thank you.